Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Echad, Kodesh. Double honor to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Well, peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Haran coming back at you with a quick blessing, over and again, flying and uplifting unto the elect. And just on my way to the office, and just meditating. I got a little bit of drive, so I was just meditating on the current controversy, all right, going on amongst these reprobate groups, all right, and a lot of so-called reprobate leaders, so-called leaders that are actually reprobate. That in these last days, the Lord is, as He's getting ready to turn the show off for a lot of people, all right, He's also setting the stage, right? It's all part of the Lord setting the stage. All right, a lot of individuals that have been laboring in this truth. It turns out that they were never really truly sincere. All right, it's all showing, right? And of course, you got the two main characters. You got the Hakai Hassad. All right, them two reprobates that the Most High about to destroy very soon because they sold out. All right, that's what the apostles have been saying. Elders, bishops, brothers, everybody been saying it because you can see it. It's clear. Okay, that anybody who in these last days, especially if you're teaching. Right, you've been teaching that, which was the truth that you were teaching, that the covenant, all right, wasn't made with the other nations. It was only made with the family, all right, of Israel, all right, which then became the tribes of Israel. Before that, it was literally a familial covenant, okay, that the Lord made, all right, with the house of Israel, and that's it. Now, when the covenant was made, these other nations were still in existence. All right, they were still there. As a matter of fact, the Lord used them for the most part to oppress us. All right, now many different incarnations. All right, being around these nations. All right, there's a lot of shit that we learned. All right, that came from these nations that the Lord says not to do. Right, a lot of idolatry. All right, specifically idolatry. That's that spiritual fornication. All right, being introduced to these other gods, which are no gods. All right, but our people just reverence these things because they're just simple-minded, man. That's Jake. Oh shit, this weather's terrible, man. But that's Jake for you, man. Disobedient, hard-headed. All right, and all throughout our different incarnations, the Lord put us under these nations. He made us subject to these nations, and then all of a sudden, at the very last end, all right, as we are in Esau's kingdom, the very last end. You got these clowns pop up out of nowhere saying, oh, no. We have a change of heart. No, not the Lord who had a change of heart. They had a change of heart. And that now the Gentiles can make it. The Gentiles we're talking about the actual natural Gentiles, which are these heathens. They can make it now. How the fuck are they going to make it? Where are they going to make it to? Where are they going? You got 2/3. So you mean to tell me the Lord is going to save a nation that He never made a covenant with? He's going to save them over His own people? You got 2/3 of our nation that are not going to make it. You do realize that, right? What about them? So the Lord going to destroy them, but He's going to save an Edomite that says that he's cool with Jacob. Like, how does that make sense? Don't you understand that the whole house of Esau is going into captivity? Regardless of how cool one Edomite could be. If Pontius Pilate is an Edomite, all right? Some say he could be a Jake. It's speculative. Who cares? All right? In my knowledge, he was a Roman, making him an Edomite. All right? Because he made a statement. He said, am I a Jew? Like, how you asking me that? Like, I don't know your customs. I don't know your rules, your laws, and so on and so forth. So why you bringing this shit up to me? Right? I'm not a Jew. I don't know your customs like that. I don't know how y'all roll up, how y'all move like that. So, like, y'all gonna have to deal with this on your own. You bringing this man up to me, right? And y'all saying that he committed all these atrocities. Well, I don't know y'all customs like that. So y'all gonna have to deal with him accordingly, right? So that alone, all right, showed that Pontius Pilate, all right, was not a Judean, clearly, all right, but through deductive reasoning, you could tell that he was of a different nation, all right, primarily the nation of Edom, okay, but he had some form of conscience. Is that gonna negate the fact that he's still going to be under captivity? I mean, he's an Edomite, all right, just like Nero Caesar, okay, Trump. Nero 47, he's an Edomite. Now he could have a change of heart and say, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm no longer in allegiance with the Jays. I'm going to side with the Hebrew Israelites. I'm going to make new laws and all these different things to make sure I protect these people because those are God's chosen people. Yeah, he's still going into slavery, right? And the point you niggas need to understand is captivity and slavery for these other nations is not something that's like, it's a subjective thing. You know what I mean? It's not like, this person did good to me, so now he should be exempt from the punishment that's coming up. This is a nation thing. It's all national stuff, right? Your nation, our nation, the whole entire nation, we weren't all wicked, but because of the 2/3 of our people, we all had to suffer the same fate, okay? Because of disobedience. You got people who are disobedient in our nation, and because of them, we had to suffer, all right, the fate of being in slavery under the worst captivity ever, which is under the Edomites, okay? Esau Edom, the American Edomite, the European Edomite, okay? So we had to suffer that. We had to actually go through that as a whole entire nation. Nobody was exempt. Not the young, not the old, not the little children, all of the maids, nobody was exempt. Man, this snow is crazy. They said we finna get 7 to 8 inches of snow on a fucking Tuesday morning, man. Brakes ain't do anything. Brakes ain't that good. The tires ain't that good. Man, shit. We'll get there though. So, you think about all these things. We had to deal with this as a nation. Esau is going to have to deal with this as a nation because the Lord put him over us as a nation. All right, he didn't just decide, oh, you know what? The Edomites. The Edomites, they've done really atrocious things to your nation, but we just going. They could be saved. They've been doing right, but now niggas, you niggas sold out. You niggas sold out, and the Lord ain't playing that. The Lord is not trying to hear none of that shit. All right, when Yahushua comes back, he doesn't give a fuck your opinions. He doesn't care about Hakai and Hassad's opinions and change of heart. The Lord ain't looking at that. He's looking at the mission. All right, he's looking at the mission. He's looking at the overall picture, which is these niggas done destroy the whole entire planet. Right? There's got to be judgment for that. Bro, it's not even just about what they did to our nation. It's what they've done to the earth, what they've done to the Lord's creation. We're thinking about all these things, okay? What they've done in history. I mean, damn. You niggas debate all these scholars. You bring out all this information, and then you turn around and say that the Edomites can make it? These other nations can make it? They're not even looking for salvation. How the hell are they going to make it? Where they going to make it to? Where they going? Huh? And that's why we've been saying through the Spirit and through prophecies of the scriptures, right, that if you are a descendant of a different nation, okay, as in you're not an Israelite and you're in the souls of America, like Priest Zabak is trying to say, that there's going to be a few people that are going to be saved, like other nations or heathens that are going to be reserved for it's like for them to be enslaved by us. No, it doesn't work like that, buddy. We're going to have 1,000 years. 1,000 years to exert our dominance and authority upon the face of the earth. 1,000 years, man. Look, the Lord brought back a new generation within 40 years when we're in the wilderness. He specifically told Moses, or I believe in the book of Numbers, I want to say the 14th chapter. He specifically told Moses, he's like, nah, look, these people, they're not going to see that land. They're not going to see that land because they run their goddamn mouth too much, man. Disrespectful as all hell. I'm not going to give them no promised land. They're murmuring at me and all that. Nah, it's not happening. So as a matter of fact, their offspring, right? Their offspring, their children, their sons and daughters that are going to be born in the wilderness, they're the ones that I'm going to have go to the promised land. Not these niggas. Not these niggas. You see? So within 40 years, okay, the Lord brought back, all right, the nation within well, not brought back, but the old generation was done away with, and the new generation, all right, took off, okay, and they were led by Joshua into the promised land. Okay, the only two people that made it out of Egypt originally were Moses and Aaron, all right, and the heads at that time was Joshua and Caleb. Okay, that actually got to be with the heads and the old generation from Egypt. All right, but the those who made it to the promised land, there was none of them that was actually from Egypt. That original exodus from Egypt. Okay, so in 40 years, the Lord turned the whole entire thing around. For 1,000 years, you don't think we're gonna have these heathens keep reproducing and coming back so they can serve their time? Of course they will. Of course they will. Okay, of course they will. And they're not escaping it. Nobody's escaping it. All right, nobody's escaping that shit. So these heathens are not exempt. All right, the Lord is not going to just change his mind and say, okay, you know what, I changed my mind. You know, got a few heathens that are pretty good to the jig, so we just going, nah. Okay, nah, it's not happening. It's never going to happen. All right, it's fiction. It will not happen. Okay, Yahweh Shemi Haushai has set everything up. All right, he removeth kings and he setteth up kings. He set everything. All these kingdoms had their time. All these kingdoms had their time, bro. Okay, all these kingdoms and these nations had their time to rule. All right, and the worst rulership of all is the rulership of Esau Edom, starting with the Greeks all the way down to now. You don't think the Lord going, look, man, look what they did when they were during the time of the Greeks. Look what they did to Jake. They got to pay for that. Look what they did during the time of the Romans, right? From the time Yahushua was born all the way to 70 AD. They got to pay for that. Okay, look at what they've done as these different rulership kingdoms. All right, the Spaniards, like, what did they do to the Northern Kingdom? They got to pay for that. All right, do some conquistadors and all that. You think the Lord just forgot about that? You know how much bloodshed happened? Are you kidding me? Bro, listen, man, you niggas is out of your fucking minds. All right, and that's why the Lord Yahweh Shemi Haushai is going to destroy these niggas with a sword of destruction. All right, it's going to happen swiftly. You chasing after the bag, the Most High going to crush you niggas, man. All right, especially you demon Haka, you damn demon, man. The Lord going to fuck you up. Yahweh Shemi Haushai going to fuck your ass up, nigga. All right, because you ain't right. You've never been right, and it's all showing now. Okay, as the Apostle John said, all right, they went out of us because they were not of us. Okay, because if they were of us, they would have what? They would have stuck with us, man. They would have been with us. Okay. So your leader falls out. The Lord takes the spirit off of him, and he falls out. All right. What's that name? The Sakari nigga. What's his name? Alazar. Right. The Lord took his ass out. Right. Took the spirit off of him. Okay. And put a reprobate spirit on him. He talking about, yeah, he's no longer a part of this Hebrew Israelite thing. Stop. All right. Stop it. Okay. It's not something you can just, oh, I'm no longer part of the Hebrew Israelite community. What the hell is that? What do you mean by that? All right. So the Lord definitely, all right, is taking the spirit off of a whole bunch of niggas. You got this nigga Hakab saying, oh, the black Hebrew Israelites. That's a COINTELPRO term, bro. What are you saying? Like when I hear that shit, I'm like, oh, this nigga an agent. This nigga a whole agent, bro. What are you saying? The black Hebrew Israelites, nigga? That's the verbiage that they use to demonize us. How the fuck are you gonna turn around and call us black Hebrew Israelites? Like, what the fuck are you? Huh? Were you not teaching the same things we were teaching? Well, most of the things, not all. Because you was teaching that the lake of fire is some place, I don't know what the fuck. That shit was just, what the fuck, man? You know? Just a whole bunch of bullshit, bro. It is what it is. But it's just annoying. You know what I mean? It's just annoying. You accept it. You're like, yeah, you know, they ain't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? The Lord gonna destroy them. But it's still aggravating to hear this shit. Because it's like, dude, what the fuck? Where you niggas coming from with this shit, bro? You know what I'm saying? The brothers gotta stop what they're doing. Right? And address this shit. It's like, bro, y'all do the same thing. You made Vocab convince you niggas. How much money did he pay you? Vocab is not that rich, bro. See what I'm saying? He's not that rich. This nigga on YouTube doing debates against Hebrew Israelites. He ain't got nothing better to do with his life. A nigga that's gonna throw his life away like that, bro, you just fighting a futile battle. Right? It's never gonna work in your favor. Why the fuck you just go read the scriptures, all right, and just accept the fact that you're an Edomite and be happy that you're told about these things years in advance. You know what I'm saying? If I'm you, Vocab, if I'm you, I'm gonna do some smart shit. I'm gonna leave America. All right? I'm gonna leave America. And you could go live in a different country somewhere, you know, find an island somewhere, just chill over there, all right, until the Lord come back. And then, you know, we come grab you up, because you definitely gonna be, Apostle Hardy he made a calling on you. He said he wants you to be his slave. So you definitely gonna be serving some time on his plantations. You know what I mean? So you might want to go enjoy your life. You know what I'm saying? Have a nice little family or some shit. You know, and then get ready for shit. Oh. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop this video and focus on this drive, because the snow is crazy and I am drifting and I am not trying to deal with all that. So we're gonna stop this video in a few minutes. Willing, and the snow is kind of crazy, and I have a feeling I'm probably gonna get stuck in this shit. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. You got a nicer, better car. Go ahead. You know, but yeah, man. So Kind of lost track of what I'm saying here, but going back to vocab, all right, and then I'm gonna bring it back. He started all this bullshit about these other nations and all this. It's been something that's been going on for years. You got niggas that pop up every now and again and talk about, oh, the nations can be saved and all this extra shit, right? The nations. But the reality is, fuck the nations, man. All right, that's the reality. Fuck these other nations. Fuck them all. All right, we've been down and out. All these niggas was part of us being down and out. And then at the last end, when the Lord about to bring that judgment and raise us up, all of a sudden, fuck out of here, man. All right, they saw what we went through. They see what we were going through. All right, they about to see what Esau about to do even more. As it tells you in Revelation 12. All right, the devil has come down upon you having great wrath because he knoweth that he has but a short time. You don't see how they set shit up? They saying that they're going to start deporting, all right, Haitians in February of 2026. Like, nigga, we told you this was going to happen, man. All right, the dragon that made war against the saints, they're finna come down on us. All right, but the Lord is going to preserve his elect. That's been the message from day one. The elect are going to be delivered from all this. The elect are going to be made safe in all of this. Daniel, the 12th chapter tells you that. Okay, a time of trouble that's never been upon the face of the earth before. It's going to inquire. All right, the Lord to step in. Good Lord, we can't win. We can't beat these niggas. So the Lord is going to step in with spiritual power, with angelic forces on our side. Okay, and that's just that. Damn. Man, I should have taken the other car. That's just that. All right, so that's all I had to say, man. There's something on my mind and spirit I just want to let go off real quick because we're seeing things, man, and 2026 is going to be, man, what a pivotal year, right? It's going to be very, very interesting. A lot of things lined up for 2026. Esau is a clever motherfucker, man. He really is very subtle, all right, very cunning, very, very deceptive. Okay, he does set up the whole entire planet. All right, and when you look at, again, the Economist magazine 2026, when you look at all those things on there, man, all the signs point to a very tumultuous time. It lines up perfectly with biblical prophecy of the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and we've been saying that Jacob's trouble started in 2025, like when you could actually feel it, because we all going through it, like jobs, job-related situations, economic issues, all kinds of different stuff that aligns perfectly with how Jacob's trouble commences. We're seeing that the whole government shutdown that happened, right? That was a groundwork that they had to do. You see what I'm saying? So we've seen all these things lined up. As the scriptures tell you in the book of Proverbs, right? It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil to come and hideth himself, but the foolish walk on and are punished. Okay? So those of us who are in the know, right? We've been given the ability to actually see the future for what it is. We're prepared. We are prepared, man. Okay? We've been prepared for this moment. We've been prepared. So we are very prepared. Okay? And those who don't have the covering of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which is the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of these times, number one, you got to know what's going on. And number two, you got to know how to deal with it. Right? You got to first have the knowledge of it. A lot of people say, oh, that's just conspiracy theory. Oh, that's just conspiracy talk. That's the knowledge. We got it. Okay, we're aware. We're privy. All right, to this devil and his schemes. So we know what's going on. Right? But then what do you do about it? Right? That's the next thing. What do you do about it? Well, you go into the scriptures, right? And then you get ready. You get your mind ready. All right, for what's gonna play out. How do you handle these things? Right? In the time of stress, when there's no food, there's no water, there's no sense of security or shelter or safety, how do you go about it? Who do you keep your trust in? Who do you rely on? Do you go back to the system and, try to find a way out? They're offering food, but, I got to do this to get that. Are you going to be one of them? You going to compromise? Or are you going to stand on all 10? And know that the Lord got you. You know what I'm saying? Those of us who have that mindset, we're going to be all right. Okay, we're going to be all right, man. We've played this many, many different scenarios in our heads multiple times, and the only solution that we keep coming back to is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, so yeah, man, we know what's coming, but 2026 is definitely not going to be a pleasant year. Let me just put it like that. Okay, let me just put it like that. 10 years since 2016. All right, when they started this whole overhaul with Trump. All right, so yeah, man, just a few things on my mind. But it's snowing pretty crazy up here. They said we're expecting to get about 7 to 8 inches of snow up here. So and I'm supposed to be working in it. So I'm hoping that the Lord could just abate it for a little bit until, or maybe I could just get out of work early. I don't know. All right, but we'll see. Lord willing, I get to where I'm trying to go right now safely and bring my ass back home and then see where I go from there. All right, but until then, I'm gonna leave it off here. Lord willing, you were edified. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash, the Wadi HaBashim, Yashai. Until next time, Shalom.